Hi, my name's Shelley and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be looking at a very interesting vintage pattern. It looks quite intricate, but actually I have had a little practice and it really isn't as difficult as it looks. So we'll start by chaining 8 chains. And then join with a slip stitch. I'm using 4-ply yarn and a 3mm hook, but actually the thinner the yarn and the smaller the hook, the better. So now I'm going to chain 11, and then I'm going to work a double treble into the center, and then I'm going to chain 7, and again double treble into the center, and we're going to repeat that another 6 times so that there are 8. Loops. Let's try again. So yeah, double treble into the center and just continue until you have 8 loops. So when we've done the 8th chain 7, we're going to join to the 4th of the 11 chains from the previous row, and then for the second round we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to work 7 double crochets into the loop, and then we're just going to do that into each loop, 7 double crochet into each loop. And then for the third round we're going to slip stitch into the first 3 double crochet from the previous round, one, 2, 3, and 1 double crochet into the next, followed by 8 chains. And then we're going to place a double crochet in the center of the next loop. Then we're going to chain 8 again, and then we're going to double crochet into the middle of the next loop and just continue that all the way around and end with a slip stitch to the first double crochet. And for the fourth round, we're going to chain 3, and then we're going to work 9 trebles into the first loop. And then we're going to work a double crochet into the double crochet from the previous row, and then we're going to go on repeating that 9 trebles and 1 double crochet into each loop all the way around. So now for the 5th round, we'll start the 5th round with a chain 6, and then you're going to miss 4 stitches and double crochet into the middle of the next arch, and then you're going to do another 6 chains, and then you're going to double crochet into the treble in the middle of the arches. So chain 6, and then double crochet into the middle stitch of the next arch, and just continue chaining 6 and double crocheting into the middle of the arch and in between the treble, in between the arches or petals, whichever you prefer, and just end the round with a double crochet into the last treble from the previous row. And then for the 6th round, it's going to start with 1 chain, and then we're just going to work 7 double crochets into each loop. So nothing in the stitch in between, just 7 double crochets into each loop all the way around, and end the row with a slip stitch to the first stitch of the previous row. So now we're going on to row 7, which is the same as row 3 but with more repetitions because it's now bigger. So we're going to start with slip stitching into the first 3 stitches, and then we're going to chain 8, and then we're going to work a double crochet in the middle of the arch, and chain 8 again, and then we're going to double crochet into the middle of the 2 arches, and then chain 8 again, and double crochet into the middle of the arch, and just continue working 8 chains and double crochet into the stitch in between the arches and the middle of the arch all of the way around, and finish the row with a slip stitch into the first chain of the previous row. And for row 8 we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to work 9 double crochets into each loop, or 9 double crochets and also a double crochet into the treble between the arches. So just continue working 9 double crochets into each loop and into each treble between the arches until you get to the other end, and just end the row with a slip stitch into the first stitch of the previous row. So we're going to start the next row with 8 chains, and then you're going to miss the next 4 double crochet, and we're going to work a double treble cluster by working a double treble, leaving 2 stitches on the hook, and then working another double treble, leaving 3 stitches on the hook, and the last double treble, leaving 4 stitches on the hook, and then yarn over, sorry, and pull through the 4 stitches, and then chain 8 again. And then you're going to just work a double crochet in between the 2 arches, and chain 8 again, and then we'll just go through that double treble cluster one more time. So into the middle of the arch, draw the yarn through, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, which leaves 2 loops on the hook, and then double treble into the same stitch, pull through, and then yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and that will leave you 3 stitches on the hook and 1 last double treble. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over through 2 loops, yarn over through 2 loops, and then yarn over through 4 loops. So just keep doing that, alternating. So another 8 chains and a double crochet in between the arches, another 8 chains and a double cluster treble in the middle of the arch, and just repeat that all of the way around. So end the round with the 7 sorry, 8 chains and the double crochet into the double crochet from the beginning. And you should be left with something like this. Beautiful. And it gets better. I'm going to post this video and then I'm going to do part 2 tomorrow. So, and part 2 is even more beautiful and interesting. So I'll see you then.